Hey guys, Iceman here, and I've been playing Path of Diablo for quite a while now. It just released yesterday. Well, the ladder reset, alright? So a lot of folks have been on and playing like crazy. In fact, these servers are loaded with folks. It's been a good time. Right now, I'm playing as Ice Blaze, level 39 sorceress. Now, what inspired me to play Path of Exile was the fact that I was enjoying my HYDRA Frozen Orb Sorc on BattleNet, or botnet rather. But the problem was, HYDRA sucks in Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction Vanilla. It sucks. It shoots Firebolt. It doesn't scale well with Hell. It does really low damage, so it's horrible. But however, HYDRA in Diablo Path of Diablo is GG, bro. It's really GG. In fact, I've heard that this game was kind of inspired by Path of Exile, right? Like it took some perks from there, but I don't know. But anyway, check this out. You have a huge stash. This is one of the benefits in Path of Diablo. It's GG. And your inventory looks kind of dumb because they had to squish it up here because they give you a far larger holding inventory. So this is just your character equipment screen. And you know, the helmet's not up on top anymore. The amulet's not up here. The rings aren't over here, the gloves aren't over here, and so forth. But you get used to it after a few minutes. It's not that big of a deal, right? And look at this hog of an inventory. Now, Daddy was a little divided on what he thought about this. How there's actually a separate inventory right down here that is primarily for your charms. You see, your charms only work in this bottom inventory. So you put them up here, and it makes a level requirement beyond what you can reach in the game, no matter what charm it is. And you can see the coloration is different. This is like a stone marble background on this inventory, more of. So you can tell it's just this bottom half of it is for your charms. In fact, the other inventory up here is one more space larger even, because you can hold a large charm here if you wanted and a grand charm here. So you get a larger inventory overall, and here's the section for your charms. So you can fill it to the brim with charms, man. This section right down here. And I was a bit divided on that because I thought there's kind of a strategy involved in deciding how many charms do I want in my inventory and how much space do I want available to carry items that I find. So I was thinking, you know, I'm not sure if I like this idea, but at this point I've decided that I do. Because throughout endgame builds and stuff, we're usually running with a lot of charms in the inventory. Now, Iceman usually doesn't fill it to the brim with just like a cube in the corner like some folks do, but I do fill it up quite a bit to where I only have like one big old pull space to carry whatever, you know, I find. So I think overall I'm pleased with this, and I think it's a great idea. And what it does allow for is customization for your build, obviously. So you can find all these charms to tweak it, and you don't have to worry about sacrificing precious inventory space as much anyway, because you can still hold regular items down here. So when you start out, man, you have like this whole space of inventory. I need to clean this shit up a little bit. Yeah, I kind of have a tendency to let it become a mess. And I do hoard a lot of items. Lately especially, I've been hoarding some items for my Amazon that I intend to build. Just some of these like poison charms and stuff like that, 15 poison. I'm going to stack her up with these damage charms and then make a new Zon. Primarily multi-shot, maybe Java Zon build, I'm not sure. I have to look into some of the Zon builds. Ooh, forgot I have actually Saigon's gloves. But check this out, I found like 3 unique since I've started. I found Steel Clash. This fell from Diablo, I believe. Or Mephisto, I don't remember which. I found Chance Guard's Bra. But unfortunately, they're only 25 MF, and of course they range. Is it 24, 25 to 40? Damn, I forgot. I rarely ever wear chance cards. I'm generally not a magic finding character. I just search for runes and trade them. So I'm not all that familiar. I forgot the frickin' range for chance cards. I think it's 25 to 40, however. I know it maxes at 40. But it goes from somewhere in the 20s to 40, I know. Then I have these nice boots that I found from Diablo. I was really pleased with these. Actually, a really nice beginner set. If you get another item, you get attack rating and stuff like that. And they get fire res, but primarily what I like about them, the low requirements, and the 20% faster run walk. It's very nice, bro. Oh, and I found these just a minute ago. And these have the run walk as well. I'll put these on my Amazon, I think, when I make her. I made a stealth armor. Then I made a leaf staff, and I bought one in Act 2 that already had 2 fireball. I didn't want to have to keep looking to find a 3 fireball one, so I just settled with a 2. But look at this. Hydra's only level 12. And check out that damage, man. And as you level it up, the duration lasts longer. Like at first, it only lasts like 3 seconds or something. And that was really lame. It just went away so fast. And there's next to no casting timer with Hydra as well. So I'll show you that in just a moment. Here are my skills. I think I'm going to go Frozen Orb and Hydra. Now there are some new skills, not all of which I've experimented with. There's this Frigorate, which is just like Enchant. See? And you can enchant your guys with it. And this was really helpful at the beginning, because you just enchant yourself, and then you can go around and slap stuff with your staff. And it adds some negative enemy defense and some cold damage, so it worked out really well, bro. But yeah, Hydra rocks. Let me show you some of this. And here's the Hydra skill. And as you can see, there are some new skills. Blaze has been reworked a little bit. I haven't even tried this one, didn't put a point into it. As for Lightning, there are some new skills. There's this Discharge, don't know what the hell that does. And Lightning Mastery, as you can see, has been reworked a little bit. They all work just, in fact, I think they all work the same. 5 and 2, 1 and 2. Oh, so the Pierce is a little different. So Cold Mastery starts out with a higher Pierce. But yeah, they're all very similar now, though, where they pierce the resistances, I believe, of enemies, just like how Cold Mastery would initially, and they add damage. Cold Mastery, though, now it doesn't start with 30 pierce like it used to. It just starts with 5. So Frozen Orb at the beginning kind of sucks until you start maxing out this Cold Mastery, which I think I'm going to do, but I've had such a blast with Hydra, bruh. And look at the synergies are different as well. So, and Hydra actually has damage synergy. It's really nice. And look at the damage on Hydra, bro. It just rocks. I think Fireball has been buffed in terms of just adding points into it on its own. I think it does more damage per level. But as you can see, the synergies aren't as dominant as they used to be for Fireball. They used to be, I think, 12% fire damage each, and now they're only 6%. But I think that's a great idea, because now Fireball's a lot more useful when you're trying to level up, because it worked out great. When I started putting a few points into it, she was just wasting stuff, bruh. And here's this Emulate spell, and I really don't know what that does. But I haven't seen it in action anyway. But what I've been doing now that I have Hydra up, and I'm in Act 5, I was doing a lot of Val runs with folks. Look at this, man. And it shoots fireballs. Most importantly, perhaps. This is GG. Yeah, it shoots fireballs now. It used to shoot those shitty little fire bolts. But yeah, it's been a good time, man. And there's no bots on here as well, which is great. And I just wish Blizzard would crunch down on that, man. You know, I've heard that there was one ladder a few months ago on botnet where they didn't allow for any bots. So I've heard that term from DJ Waters, botnet. Well, that was funny as fuck. At first I was a bit triggered. I was like, oh, that's all Iceman plays is botnet. But it's true, though. You know, he's right. I don't know if he coined that term or what. But it's funny as hell, man, because it's freaking botnet. There are bots all over the place, you know. And the problem with that is they saturate the market too much with gear, where all of a sudden there's a huge surplus of gear to where it drives down all the prices. So it's so damn easy to get geared when you play on botnet or battlenet. And some folks might initially find that to their liking. Like, oh, cool, I can easily trade for a bunch of gear. I can just trade shitty little charms and shitty little P-gems for like a freaking Viper Magi, a Storm Shield, a Shaco. All I have to do is collect like 10 P-gems or something to get a freaking Shaco. See, it saturates the market so much. But the problem with that is, even though that sounds fun, like I've said before, man, this game, as far as I can tell, is all about the chase, man, and the hunt. So once you get all the GG, it loses its appeal, like vastly. So it's all about finding the middle ground, I think, and that's why finding your own shit is a good time. But of course, I took a lot of handouts in my day, you know. I don't really plan to for this whole thing. But I do intend to trade. And they even have a trading website, man. And the good thing is it's not like JSP, where they have a separate currency, you know, the form gold. Because the problem with that is you start the ladder early on and everyone in the currency, things go for a lot of currency at first. But then as the ladder progresses and the market gets saturated with all the items that the bots find, the prices start to plummet. So, and then you can use your old currency on the old ladder and use it on the new ladder and be way ahead, you know, and have all that, have a massive influx of currency on the new ladder. And that's the problem with the form gold concept. You know, there are some things that are nice about it, but there are some problems that go with it as well, which is that it transfers over from ladder to ladder, and that's a huge problem, I think. And plus, whoever owns it or dominates it, they could be printing that shit, you know? They could be causing like inflation and shit, but we don't really know. You know, who's regulating that shit? But I mean, maybe they can be trusted. I don't know. But nonetheless, I like the I like it how it's just a trade item for item concept, because it's just like posting your item on frickin' social media and be like, I have this. Whoever else is playing, look at my items. I have a Shaco. I really want, you know, Drax. You know, who wants to trade me Shaco for Drax or give me an offer, you know? So it's just, there's no more currency involved, and things don't transfer from ladder to ladder. The gold doesn't anyway. So I think it works out really well. From what I can tell so far, man, it seems like a great concept. And people are doing, rolling in different ways now that there aren't bots all over the place. Like, there was a Chaos game. When I hit level 20, I started seeing it and joining it. And what was nice about it was a normal Chaos game. People were actually running the Chaos Sanctuary in normal mode, doing runs for experience. And there were no bots running it. You know, and that's generally an unusual thing. You usually don't see folks on normal mode running Chaos, like together as a team. Because they'll just tune until they're like level 21 or whatever. And then some high level will come and cow them. And of course, I'm sure that those things do go on. This is the beginning of the ladder. But nonetheless, because there are no bots, people are teaming up in different ways and actually running things on their own. So it's pretty tight, bro. But yeah, this sorceress build, I generally don't make a sorceress at first. I don't really like how vastly popular they are and how just everyone's running a sword. But like I said, the HYDRA thing intrigued me. And yeah, it's GG, but the problem is it's really mana intensive. So Iceman desperately needs an insight. And I'm about to go to Nightmare. I'll probably go very shortly. Because HYDRA is just killing everything. So once I'm in Nightmare, I think I'm going to start checking the eye level of items. Because there's actually something in the settings where I think you can set it to where you can see the item level of everything. So I believe if you get like a poleaxe, for example, of a certain item level, it can roll its 4 max sockets that that item can get. So I might just Larzik it to get an insight, because HYDRA is costing 47 mana right now. I don't even want to put more points into it at this time, until I get more mana gear and stuff like that, and an insight. But it's just destroying everything anyway, so it doesn't even need more points. Look at this. This thing is GG. Yeah, HYDRA rocks. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this scales with the game. And of course, with Path of Diablo, there's added like endgame content. From what I've heard, it's similar to Path of Exile's maps or mapping. Of course, I've never done mapping in Path of Exile. Look at this, rare bolts, bruh. Rare bolts. I've never seen a rare one before. That is nuts, bruh. Holy shit! Look at these stats. That's really interesting how there are rare bolts and arrows. And look at this, the quantity's higher. So just a lot of refinements for, you know, quality of life enhancements and changes have been made to this game. And I think the moderators are very active, or the creators of this. And I believe every season, you know, they'll make refinements. So they're very active and responsive with the community. So it's really unfortunate Blizzard doesn't do this. You know, they could have additions added to Diablo 2. You know, they could give us a bigger stash. They could have the stash transfer for characters, so you don't got to throw shit on the ground and mule things. You know, they could add different concepts to the game that would make quality of life easier, you know, and more gamer friendly and stuff. But, you know, there are some things that have just been realized later after the creation of Diablo 2 that just haven't been added. You know, like, why do you have to have such a small stack of arrows? You know, things like that. It's just really not necessary in terms of challenge. It's just tedious. And the community here are working to make all these refinements continually. So maybe Blizzard will take an ear to this and, you know, pick up their game. Get rid of all the damn bots. You know, like the people, these folks are able to manage it. Just some folks who this was their hobby, you know? I mean, I don't know if they're doing it for a full-time gig or anything. They do have a Patreon page, so you can support them. I forgot the guy's name, but you can check it out, the Path of Diablo Patreon page. I believe they have one, so you can support them there. But like I said, I don't know if this is their full-time job or whatnot, but it's crazy how much they've done, you know, to help make this game better. And it's even more bizarre how Blizzard, you know, isn't just hiring a few guys or whatever, or employees to take charge of this whole thing. But if you guys haven't checked it out, you can go to the Path of Diablo website and download it. It's free, as long as you have, well, it's free to play Path of Diablo as long as you have your CD keys for Diablo 2 and Lord of Destruction. So you do got to buy the game, fortunately. But this is just, you know, private servers and stuff that you can get on if you download the Path of Diablo thing. But let me know what your thoughts are on this game, and if you guys playing the ladder, let me know what characters you're making, and what sort of interesting builds are there. I know that there is a Fist of the Heavens Paladin build that apparently does really well, because Holy Bolt now damages all enemies, and it's been buffed and all that. And there's like a Summoner Droid that's really good. Raven for the droid, like when you're running the game initially, I've seen droids with like tons of ravens all around them. So Raven really helps them level up. And then he can respec a Nightmare or Hell or whatever. Oh, another armor. I really wanted one of those. Because I traded one earlier and I regretted it. Well, there are all sorts of new builds, bruh. Like the Amazon, you know, multi-shot is no longer only 3/4 target, 3/4 weapon damage. Like, that's a really unnecessary nerf because, as we know, Bosons fucking suck unless if they have GG gear in Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction Battle.net. And even if they do have GG gear, they're just acceptable to do low player level monster hell runs. But beyond that, if you have like 8 players in game, man, they just can't compete. And that's the problem, is there's a lot of cool builds that just can't compete with the endgame builds. And nothing has been done about it. Like Bosons rock, you know, it's not a necessary nerf to screw over a multi-shot like that, you know? At least let it do basic weapon damage. Don't make it do, you know, -% weapon damage. That shit is just, it just doesn't make sense, man. You know, at one time it might have, but after everything else was buffed and all that, they never did anything about it. They're just fucked. And there's other builds where similar things can be said about them. But on here, yeah, Bosons, they don't have that nerf. I've heard that physical Bosons, however, aren't very viable. So I think, you know, but the moderators will hear us if we want it, you know, and if they find it reasonable to buff them, and they will, I'm sure. You know, because they're active with their community, unlike Blizzard. So, but there are like elemental Bosons, and I think multi-shot is still to some extent viable just for the end game content. I don't know if it is, but it's better than what it is in Lord of Destruction. I know that. But anyway, like this damn video, and become a patron if you want. I appreciate your support, and you guys watching the Iceman. My channel has been growing, man. So this has been a great time. And I'm having too good of a time playing Diablo 2 Path of Diablo, so I gotta take a freaking break, man. Like, for a few hours or whatever, you know what I mean? Because this shit can be addictive, bro. Holy. But, yeah. Like the video, subscribe to the page. Here's my little Patreon thing right here, where I got all my, my patrons. So become a patron if you want. Click the link in the description below. And thank you to my patrons. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm the Iceman. Peace be with you.